Interior, exterior, Shanky's Diner, Arbordale, 18 years later, dusk. A brilliant sun sets beautifully behind the diner and over the lazy, mucky river just beyond. Greg, now mid-40s, nice suit and loosened tie, and his wife, B. Ayers, late 30s, both white and attractive, enter Shanky's Diner, a retro-looking 1940s, 50s stainless steel edifice. B wears an oversized blouse and black designer yoga pants. Her appearance screams Junior League. She waits for Greg to hold the door for her with her arms folded and her oversized black leather purse in the crook of one elbow.
Thanks, honey.
Her bag could be a briefcase or a backpack. Its solid gold designer monogram at the clasp makes it a status piece. The server/host 25, multiracial, curvy, vivacious, waves as she walks over to the entrance. She wears an old-fashioned, from a less enlightened time, waitress uniform, showing her form and showcasing her cleavage, which catches Greg's quick glance. Her engraved name tag reads Amaris.
Y'all can sit anywhere you want. Don't have much business tonight.
They head to a booth toward the back and she follows them. She walks down their table with a spray bottle and a towel. She takes the cleaning supplies away and returns with the pitcher. She pours ice water into the empty glasses on Ayers' table, pulls laminated menus from the clip on the napkin holder, and hands one to each of the Ayerses.
I'll give you all a moment. Just wave me over when you're ready, okay?
Sure, honey.
B locks eyes with Greg as Amaris walks away.
So, husband, I wonder.
Uh-oh.
In the background, Amaris looks at Greg whenever B looks away. She notices his heterochromatic eyes and she gasps loudly.
Now be honest, okay?
Okay.
In the background, Amaris pokes herself with a fork that she is wrapping and sucks on her finger to relieve it.
Do you think she's pretty?
B cants her head at Amaris. Greg doesn't look at Amaris.
Certainly not as pretty as you are, my love.
I'm really asking, Gregory.
You're already calling me by my full name, Bea. I don't know what you want me to say.
She reaches across the table and turns Greg's head toward Amaris.
I want a real answer, Greg.
Okay.
Okay.
She takes his hands in hers and looks sincerely into his eyes. His body language relaxes.
No whoopings?
No whoopings.
Greg treats himself to an entire eyeful of Amaris.
Then yes, I suppose you could say she's attractive in a sort of obvious way.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty.
You're welcome.
Interior, Shanky's Diner later. Greg and B finish their meal.
Y'all should have a sundae. We make the vanilla ice cream in the back.
Sounds really nice.
Hot chocolate sauce, can't beat it.
No, it's too cold for ice cream.
Ma'am. Did your mama never tell you it's never too cold for ice cream?
Who needs those carbs anyway, Greg? I heard you groan climbing out of bed this morning.
Greg frowns his frustration for the briefest moment, then resumes a poker face.
You're the boss, my dear.
Great, then let's not. I'm going to the ladies.
Amaris leaves the table.
Okay, sweetie.
The moment B leaves, Amaris returns to the table to refill mostly full water glasses. She watches Greg as she works. Greg stares at her, not yielding even when she looks directly at him. His desire is much more obvious with B away from the table.
Anything else I can do for...
Greg glances coyly at her breasts. Most of what she's saying is muffled as he does.
Makes really great pies. Have you ever tried our pies?
His eyes buck almost imperceptibly at her choice of words. Amaris leans on the table with one hand. Her feet are tired.
You're being naughty with me, aren't you? If you're trying to get my attention, you've got it.
Greg places his hand atop hers, trapping her tiny hand there on the table.
Oh my God.
Amaris contorts her face in disgust.
No, sir. I'm definitely not doing that. God.
Just as Greg yanks his hand back, B returns to the table. She notices.
I'll get your check. Excuse me.
Amaris rushes off.
Greg!
Bae, I didn't...
You always do this, Gregory. Fuck you.
Her pained expression looks as if her heart is breaking. His face turns bright red and then pale as a ghost. B doesn't notice.
I'm done with this. I can't do it anymore, Gregory.
Greg gasps and then falls face forward. B screams. Amaris rushes over.
Miss, what's wrong with him?
Call 911, you twit.
What?
Don't just stand there being perky and useless, you fucking idiot. I said call 911. My husband is dying.
Amaris reaches into the apron of her uniform and retrieves her cell phone. She dials. Moments later, Amaris paces as she talks to 911 and then hangs up and rushes back to the table.
They said less than a minute.
Yeah, okay.
B has Greg set back in the booth. She removes his jacket, loosens his tie, and unbuttons his shirt. His breathing is ragged and shallow, and he remains unconscious. She stares at Amaris and doesn't hear most of her words.
I didn't mean to disrespect you, ma'am. Oh, God. Oh, God, please don't get me fired.
Jesus, my husband is dying, you insensitive bitch. So ask me if I give a shit about you or your job.
Amaris stares narrowly out the large front window, nervously out the large front window.
Ambulance is pulling up now. I'm sure her husband's going to be all right.
How the fuck would you know?
Amaris rushes to the door to greet EMTs, Stanley Brinker and his partner, Kate Person. Stanley, 48, is white, bald, and weathered. He has been at this job for many, many years. Kate is short, Asian, and perhaps because of her bespectacled, large, canted, dark, hugely expressive eyes, she looks younger than her 22 years. She is also sharp, serious, and unembellished at work. She's the rookie, and she's carrying all the stuff.
Over here in the back.
When you saw us at lunch, you didn't expect us back today, did you, Amaris? Exterior Shanky's Diner, less than a minute later. Stanley and Kate push Greg's gurney into the back of the rig. Stanley climbs in after it and closes the door behind him. Kate runs around to the front and embarks on the driver's side. She hits the sirens and the beacons. Red and blue lights shine everywhere. The rig pulls away from the front of the restaurant, leaving B and Amaris standing on the sidewalk. Interior ambulance rear compartment continuous. Stanley holds a bag valve mask over Greg's face, squeezing firmly every few seconds. Somehow, he is also able to check Greg's pulse and oxidation and to listen for his heart and lung sounds. Interior ambulance cab continuous.
St. Abigail ER, County EMT Unit 74 inbound en route to you with a possible heart event. White male, approximately 40 to 45 years old.
The radio statics and then clears up.
Copy that, County EMT. We've got a trauma team standing ready.
Copy that. St. Abigail ER, 3 minutes ETA.
Interior exterior, St. Abidou Hospital, establishing shot, moments later. Lead trauma nurse Timothy Wong, 38, a slender Asian lead trauma nurse on duty, calls out to the rest of the trauma team.
I forgot who that was.
They're here. Let's go, people.
Trauma nurse Emerald Mathers, 27, female, lean and athletic, buzz cut hair, spiky on top, white and anxious, rushes to Timothy's side, and they watch as the two-way bay doors open and Stanley and Kate roll in the gurney. 42-year-old male unconscious for the past 12 minutes, non-responsive.
Pulse, breathing.
Pulse rapid and thready, breathing shallow and irregular.
Any vomiting?
None. Dr. Tariq Ali, 40s, South Asian and slender, with trim facial hair, rushes up to the rolling gurney. What do we have here? The medical conversation fades. Kate walked into the ER with B.
Thanks for waiting for me.
My pleasure. Wanted to make sure you found us.
B points to Dr. Ali.
Who is that with him?
That's Dr. Ali. He's a legend around here.
They watch Greg's gurney disappear behind a door marked restricted. B stands before the closed door. Kate walks her over to a sitting area. Stanley walks over. He holds a cup of tea to B and a cup of coffee to Kate.
Sir, can you tell me who that man is with my husband? That doctor?
Stanley positions his body between B and her line of sight of the restricted door. Miss Ayers, we're very lucky. Dr. Tariq Ali is a brilliant man. He literally wrote the book on hypovolemic shock and cases of a peripheral aneurysm.
Oh, I don't know what any of that means.
He takes her hand. Your husband has an aneurysm. One of his major blood vessels sprung a leak, and he's bleeding. Ali is the guy to fix it.
You couldn't take him to St. Mark's? Somewhere where the doctors and nurses are more familiar? Tariq Ali? We don't even know him.
With his eyes, Stanley suddenly warns Kate not to overreact. It doesn't work.
Ali is only the best trauma surgeon in the state. Jesus.
He directs her comments to Stanley, practically ignoring Kate.
So, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but did anyone see Dr. Turk Ali wash his hands before putting them on my husband?
Look, lady, he's gonna save your husband. That's really all you should care about.
Kate, Miss Ayers has enough on her mind right now. Kate stands up and storms out.
God, how did our best hope turn out to be Dr. Turk Ali? Smith or Turner or Armbruster, them I know, but Turk Ali, we don't even know him.
In the hallway, Kate gently collides with Mark, now 22, a student and hospital volunteer, a modern-day candy striper.
Hey, you. What are you doing here? It's Tuesday.
Kate hugs him, and Mark looks around the room before he hugs her back. She kisses him more passionately than he is comfortable with in public. They continue to hold each other.
Hey, yourself. Emerald called me. She knows my blood type. Said they have an urgent need.
So here you come to save the day, huh? Okay, Mighty Mouse.
Like you can talk, Miss Emergency Medical Technician. The day was saved the moment you got on the scene, right?
They laugh sweetly.
Shit, I feel safer already.
More laughter.
Oh, by the way, this dude actually has 2 different colored eyes. It's freaky.
Mark looks in her eyes. His expression intensifies immediately. Several minutes later, Kate and Mark sit side by side in a hall outside of the lab, holding hands.
Babe, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I am. Now that I know who he is, how can I say no?
Like this? No.
He kisses her cheek.
Mark Hennings, ready for you, hon.
Or try hell no.
I can choose to be the heart or the asshole.
Oh yeah, you're all heart.
Thanks.
You asshole.
Thanks, buddy.
He affectionately bumps her shoulder with his. She kisses his cheek. They laugh and kiss as they part.
Hey, we gotta stick together, right?
They chant playfully like fellow gang members while bumping exploding fists.
Stewart Group Home
Survivors.
We've had time. Do you want to keep going to the finish? Steve?
Yes, just through this next scene, please.
Okay. Interior hospital blood bank moments later. Mark reclines on a phlebotomy chair, his eyes closed. A machine whirs loudly and blood exits his arm through a length of clear tubing, enters a centrifuge, and exits the machine into a clear plastic bag. Mark repeatedly squeezes a stress ball. Paula, 30s, the phlebotomist, hovers, pretending to read a clipboard.
Mark, honey, you need anything?
He opens his eyes.
Paula, I'm good.
You sure are a good person, Mark.
Just had some time to kill. See?
We don't get too many B-neg donors in here. You might be the only one we have now.
Mark smiles awkwardly.
You know, you're actually saving this guy's life, right?
Mark pretends to watch the news on the elevated TV. He doesn't respond.
Thank you.